to come together in an emergency situation.
Our job as law enforcement is to help students understand and know that in the event of emergency, we're going to be there to help them and help the community as best we can.
So if we can engage them in ways that's interesting to them and they remember it, and when they see Mount Rainier, they're in awe of the beauty of it, but they also know it's a volcano, and with that comes great risk, then we can teach people how to live in the shadow of a volcano, but hopefully be prepared in the event of any catastrophic emergencies that come from it.
I never got a college degree. Now I'm the CEO of my own company. People want to tell me I'm one in a million, when actually I'm one of millions.
Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the Pierce County Council for April 15th, 2025. The time is 3 o'clock. If the clerk could please call the roll.
Councilmember Yambe? Here. Councilmember Kruver?
Here.
Councilmember Denson?
Here.
Councilmember Herrera?
Here.
Councilmember Morel?
I am here.
Councilmember Ayala? Here. And Councilmember Hitchin?
Here.
You have 7 members present.
With 7 members present, we do have a quorum. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance of the flag led by Councilmember Ayala, followed by a moment of silence dedicated to our men and women serving overseas in the military, and then our land acknowledgement, also read by Councilmember Ayala. The flags are behind us. I'm going to ask everybody to please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We acknowledge that we are on the traditional homelands of the Coast Salish tribes. Coast Salish people have lived on and stewarded these lands since time immemorial and continue to do so today. We recognize that this land acknowledgement is one small step toward true allyship, and we commit to uplifting the voices, experiences, and histories of the indigenous people of this land.
Thank you. We are now at section 4, which is the approval of our agenda. Are there any objections to our agenda this afternoon as far as items or corrections? Seeing none, the agenda is approved. On today's council agenda, there will be multiple opportunities for public comment. On the consent agenda, you may provide comment on any final action items. This does not include anything that's on for scheduling. In today's consent agenda, there is 1 set of minutes and 3 appointment resolutions. During section 9 of the agenda, we will take public comment on the ordinances for final consideration. And finally, under community forum, there'll be an opportunity to address the council on any items that were not on today's agenda. For information on the rules for public participation, please review the bottom of the page on today's agenda. We are now section 5, which is our consent agenda. Does any member wish to pull items from our consent agenda? Vice Chair Herrera.
Got it. Chair, I move to approval of the consent agenda as amended, moving C2B to section 8. It's C2B to section 8.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda, moving item C2B to section 8. Is there any further discussion on this? Seeing none, I am going to open this up to a public hearing on the consent agenda, again, only on final action items. If there is anyone in the public that would like to provide comment on our consent agenda, please come to the podium. I'm assuming that's not why anyone's in the audience here today, but just in case. Okay, we will go online, Mr. Weinsbury.
Yes, Madam Chair. For any members of the public who wish to provide comment on any final action items, press the raise hand icon in Zoom or star 9 on your telephone keypad. And I see no hands, Madam Chair.
With no hands raised, we'll bring this back before the council. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'd like to ask the clerk to call the roll on the consent agenda.
Councilmember Morel?
Aye.
Councilmember Denson?
Aye.
Councilmember Herrera?
Aye.
Councilmember Kruver?
Aye.
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin?
Aye.
You have 7 ayes, 0 nays.
With 7 ayes and 0 nays, the motion is adopted. Thank you. That brings us to Section 6, which is messages from the executive, of which there are none. So Section 7 is proclamations, recognitions, and awards and presentations. On today's agenda, we have a proclamation that we are declaring April 22nd, 2025, along with the executive, as Earth Day in Pierce County, Washington. And I would like to invite, and I'm hoping we're all here, so if I say someone who's not here, we'll if you're here for this group, come to the podium. We're looking for Wendy Moore from Evergreen Elementary. She's a STEM teacher, and just in case everybody isn't in education, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. Dr. Ellie Klaus McGann, a PhD in climate, Pierce County. She's already up. And then we have, it says Sarah Hetrick from the Puget Sound Clean Air Agency, but we also have the executive. Okay, just wanted to make sure. So you're going to come to the podium, and we're going to read this into the record, and then we're going to invite you to speak. So we're going to turn this over to Councilmember Denson.
Thank you, Chair. And I know that Chair Hitchens said this, but if anybody in the audience is with these groups, they are welcome up there as well to be in support. Nice talking to you, Chrissy. No pressure. All right. A proclamation of the Pierce County Council and Executive designating April 22nd, 2025 as Earth Day in Pierce County, Washington. Whereas Pierce County remains committed to local action in the face of global environmental challenges, recognizing that sustainability efforts at the community level are essential to providing natural resources and building climate resilience. And whereas the Pierce County Sustainability 2030 Plan guides efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, integrate climate strategies into long-term planning, and support community-driven initiatives improving the energy and the built environment, transportation, waste reduction, nature-based climate solutions, education and outreach, and growing community capacity, all made possible through collaborations between county agencies, businesses, nonprofits, schools, residents. And whereas Pierce County faces increasing climate-related challenges, including rising temperatures, wildfire risk, localized flooding from heavier rainfall, sea level rise affecting coastal communities, and worsening air quality due to wildfire smoke and vehicle emissions, all of which disproportionately impact vulnerable populations. And whereas protecting natural ecosystems, such as Puget Sound's marine life and salmon populations, requires a sustained commitment to climate resilience through investments in green infrastructure, land conservation, habitat restoration, wildfire prevention, emission reduction efforts, and partnerships with local tribes and communities. Whereas protecting our environment is a shared responsibility that requires the inclusion of all communities, recognizing that climate change and environmental degradation disproportionately impact Indigenous peoples, communities of color, and low-income populations. And whereas the Puyallup tribe, the Nisqually tribe, the Squaxin Island tribe, and the Muckleshoot tribe are sovereign nations, and their sovereignty is an inherent right that has existed since time immemorial, recognized with a government-to-government relationship by the United States, we respectfully recognize the Puyallup, Nisqually, Squaxin Island, and Muckleshoot people as past, present, and future guardians of this land, both culturally and legally. And whereas while we have made progress in protecting our health and environment, our work is far from finished. We each have a role in ensuring a more sustainable, resilient, and equitable future for generations to come. And whereas Earth Day reminds us that sustainability requires ongoing commitment and collective action, from reducing waste and conserving energy to restoring ecosystems, advocating for strong climate policies, and supporting local conservation efforts. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed on this 15th day of April 2025 by the Pierce County Council and the Executive that Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025 is Earth Day in Pierce County, Washington.
Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. We would love to hear from you. Each of you. Yeah.
Just wanted to say thank you for recognizing the work that Evergreen Elementary and the students in the community are doing, helping to teach the kids to be stewards of our environment, and we try and make it fun. You know, just part of growing up and learning is to be responsible for their environment. So, thank you.
Can you tell us? We have a slide here. I was kind of delaying for. Can you tell us what the kids are doing this Earth Day, Wendy?
So on Tuesday, we have several organizations helping us We have students who are going to be removing Scotch broom from our campus.
Thank you.
We have students who are going to be doing a recycling audit, and we'll be planting a tree. This is Shokai Tyler. She is our transitional kindergarten teacher. Those are hers. Well, you want to tell them a little bit about what they're...
Well, just we do an outdoor program, so we spend a lot of time hiking our little trail or working in our meadow. And so what they're doing is they know that Scotch broom is an invasive species, and they spend a lot of time happily just out there digging up the Scotch broom and pulling it out and working together. So they're just working on being good members of their community.
Very good work. And if I could give shout outs, if that's okay. We have several organizations who are supporting this work by loaning us the equipment that we need to remove the Scotch broom and coming to help do the recycling audit. So Ryan Misley he's an environmental educator with Pierce County Planning and Public Works. Robin Denson with Gig Harbor Land Conservation. We have a group from the Northwest Youth Corps that's coming out, and they'll be working with students as well. Chapin Day, Stan Moffitt, the Pierce County Parks Department is also loaning us equipment. So just a lot of organizations. Gig Harbor Rotary is coming out to help too. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here and for getting little ones excited about pulling Scotch broom. We should encourage that in all of our county. Dr. McGann.
Yeah, hello, and thank you for inviting me, Councilmember Denson, to be part of this, and Chair Hitchen and council members. I've been here with Climate Pierce County several times advocating for all sorts of things, and a big thank you to all of you for that heavy lift of the comprehensive plan that really deals with all the things that you spoke about. Climate Pierce County is an association of about 50 organizations who all do advocacy work on behalf of the environment. We went to the Pierce County Regional Council several years ago to advocate for putting climate into the countywide planning policies, and it's now there, so that was cool. Our most recent effort was to stand up an organization for council members to be able to talk together, and that became the Pierce County Climate Conversation. Robin has been part of that, and County Executive Ryan Mello was instrumental in doing that, and we've been very supportive of that. So, you know, environmentalism is really what we're about, and we believe that it is important to steward our beautiful area. I'm very much an outdoors person. I love bicycling, I love hiking, I like paddling, I like swimming, I like all those things, snowshoeing, you know, and all of that is only possible if we do a good job in being stewards of this beautiful piece of our little section. And I'm hoping that we are successful in doing this for generations to come so that our children and our grandchildren and great-grandchildren can continue to enjoy what we have here. So thank you for the work that you do. You will see me back here again to continue advocating. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, council members. My name is Sarah Hetrick, and I'm with the Puget Sound Clean Air Agency. Thank you for having us here today. For those who may not know, our agency regulates and monitors air quality in the 4-county Puget Sound region. So that's King, Kitsap, Pierce, and Snohomish County. And we have certainly worked with Dr. Ellie on the Pierce Climate Conversation as well. So there's a couple of things that I want to share with you today. In addition to all of the compliance work that we do, the air quality monitoring, the planning, analysis, and forecasting that we do for the region, we are also the recipients of a federal climate pollution reduction grant program. And this program, the main goal of it is to develop long-range climate planning for metropolitan statistical areas, or in our case, the 4-county region of King, Kitsap, Pierce, and Snohomish County. And so there's two things that I want to mention about this program. The first important thing is we are developing a comprehensive climate action plan, which is going to list all of the mitigation measures that we can do from a climate perspective and get very specific about how we can implement those and how we can fund them. So that plan will be here by the end of the year. And as part of that plan development, we are working to develop 4 workshops to hear from the public their thoughts on how this plan should be implemented. And I'm very happy to say that Chrissy and I are on our way to our last public workshop today here in Pierce County at Clover Park Technical College. So very apropos today. And the second thing that I wanted to bring about with this program is the importance of collaboration. We have realized through this comprehensive climate action planning process just how much better we are together than apart. And when we put our heads together to think about climate mitigation, we actually bring funds here to the region for the betterment of not just our region, but for the state as well. So we're looking forward to continuing to work with you on this program. And thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you all for being here. I'm going to look to my colleagues to see if anyone has comments. Vice Chair Herrera.
Thank you, Chair. Thanks for bringing the proclamation forward today, talking about Earth Day and how that started. I think, 1970 first came out. And if you look of where we're at today compared to where we were in 1970, that's the year I was born also, we've come a long way. We are probably living in the most cleanest air, cleaner water than we have in most of our lifetimes. And we didn't get there by alone. I mean, I think in 1970, I think Tacoma was still dumping raw sewage into the Commencement Bay. We had smog alerts across many cities across, I was born in Los Angeles area, so in the 70s, with 15 million cars with leaded gas, I remember the smog alerts in elementary school. We could not go outside and play. So we've done a lot of work to clean up the air and the waters here. And it's pretty clean nowadays. For every coal-fired electrical unit that we're shutting down here in the United States, we have China building 5 more. Hopefully this thought of keeping the earth clean will be more globally. With all the hard efforts we do here, we have other countries that are totally disregarding that. And we hope that the work we're doing here is not erased by what other countries are doing and taking advantage of that. So thanks for bringing the proclamation before all of us today. Thank you.
Thank you for the comments. Anyone else? Well, I will just add my thanks as well in appreciation. We're going to take a photo with you. We've got proclamations for each of your organizations, and I just really appreciate the level of engagement that Pierce County has. We have so many different organizations that find ways to educate, provide experience, and just get people outdoors, which is one of the things that is so beautiful to do around this time of year. Sometimes you get a little wet, but it's just still, it's beautiful. So thank you all for your work. We'll come up and take a photo. In the middle. And then it makes a much better picture if you open it, is what I've been told. Okay. We'll do that. Thank you. How are you?
Nice to meet you. Thank you for this.
We're going to be so cute. Thank you so much. And if you open it, it's a better photo. Got it. What I've been told. Okay. How we do? Shift that way. Tired. Everybody kind of turn in on the ends. So good luck. Sounds like you have a safe crew. Okay, so that brings us to an item that we pulled off of our consent agenda. I'm going to try and find it here. We have proposal R 2025-136. Councilmember Yambe, are you willing to make a motion?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So let's see. I make a motion to pass proposal number R 2025-136.
There's a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 2025-136. Can the clerk please read it into the record?
Proposal number R 2025-136, a resolution of the Pierce County Council confirming the appointment of one new member, Huda Swalem, to the Pierce County Conservation Futures and Open Space Citizens Advisory Board.
Thank you. And today we have, and I'm going to do the best, but is it Huda Swalem? If you want to unmute and introduce yourself and tell me how to actually say your name, since I'm pretty sure I got it wrong.
No worry. Thank you. It's an honor. It's an honor. I appreciate it. Yes, it's Huda Swalem.
It's close, but you did a much better job. Thank you. So, well, thank you. If you'd just like to share a little bit about why you'd like to serve on the Pierce Conservation Futures and Open Spaces Citizen Advisory Board, we'd love to hear a little bit about you.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be my pleasure. Well, as I said, my name is Huda Swalem. I'm an enrolled Muckleshoot tribal member with Muckleshoot Indian Tribe, born and raised here in the Pacific Northwest my entire life. I work for the Puyallup Tribe of Indians in human resources. I am at University of Washington, finishing my last year in my doctoral program. I'm just really honored and excited to be a part of the board and participate in its mission and vision values. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for volunteering. We always appreciate anyone who says yes to these because it does come with meetings and work. So thank you. Are there any comments from my colleagues? Seeing none, we have one more step here. We're going to open this up for a public hearing. Is there anyone in chambers that would like to address the council on resolution 2025-136? Seeing none, we will go online. Mr. Weinsberry.
Yes, Madam Chair. For any members of the public who wish to provide comment on proposal number R 2025-136, press the raise hand icon in Zoom or star 9 on your telephone keypad. And I see no hands, Madam Chair.
With no hands raised, we'll close public comment and bring it back before the council. Thank you once again for saying yes to this. We always appreciate, and I know this is one of the seats we've been trying to fill for quite a while, so I think this is great. So with that, I'm going to ask the clerk to call the roll on R 2025-136.
Councilmember Denson?
Aye.
Councilmember Herrera?
Aye.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Krufer?
Aye.
Councilmember Morrell?
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin?
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
With 7 ayes and 0 nays, the motion is adopted. Thank you very much for volunteering. We look forward to the work that you do.
Thank you.
That brings us back to our regular agenda. We have no other resolutions, so we are on section 9, which is ordinances. And we will look to Councilmember Denson for a motion.
Thank you, Chair. I move to pass proposal number O 2025-509. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one.
Let's try this again.
I skipped it. O 2025-507.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded that we approve O 2025-507. Can the clerk please read it into the record?
Proposal O 2025-507, an ordinance of the Pierce County Council adopting a new chapter 2113 of the County Code Community Needs Grant Program.
Thank you. And today we have Mr. Boki to brief us.
Thank you, Chair Hitchin, Paul Boki, Council staff. This ordinance proposes to establish a community needs grant program by adopting a new chapter 2.113 of the Pierce County Code. The program is designed to provide a clear and efficient mechanism for Pierce County to distribute funds to support community-driven initiatives. With a biennial funding cap of $5 million, the program maximizes its impact by setting priorities while ensuring accountability and efficiency in fund disbursement. The $5 million cap is proposed to be distributed as follows: up to $3 million split between the executive, $375,000, and the council, $2,625,000, and up to $2 million for capital projects and property acquisitions. Funding recipients must be nonprofit organizations or public entities that are located or do business in Pierce County. The new chapter states the allowable purposes that the funds from this program may be used, and that is in the body of the code itself in Exhibit A. Funding for each recipient may not exceed $75,000 a year, or $150,000 over a biennium. Paragraph H of this new chapter specifically exempts the funding distributed through the Community Needs Grant Program from the requirements in Pierce County Code Chapter 2.106 purchasing. This means that the allocations can be made directly to the recipients. Pierce County provides funding now to a variety of community programs through several sources in its biennial budget. And the source of funding with the widest scope is the miscellaneous current expense line item in the general fund. Some of the MCE items are in the proposed budget. Others are added during the budget process. Currently, there are no parameters around the process of budgeting for community programs, unlike the programs funded by other revenue sources that are vetted through specific purposes, such as an allocation committee. So this is an attempt to try to put some framework around those miscellaneous current expense items that will now be called the Community Needs Grant Program. This was given a due pass recommendation at the March 31st, 2025 Rules and Operations Committee meeting.
Thank you for the overview. Ms. Murray, did you? One sec.
For the record, it was forwarded without recommendation.
Got it.
Rules and Operations Committee.
Thank you.
Oh, good afternoon. Julie Murray, Executive Council, Executive Mello. This proposal is not new to the council, but it may be new to some of the members and to the public, and so I'll just give you a brief background on how we got here. In 2023, in the summer, there was some advice provided by the prosecuting attorney that stated that the process of the direct appropriations that the council was doing within the budget was inconsistent with our charter. Pierce County's charter requires that the purchase of goods, services, materials, public works should be done via competition. That's something that's unique to Pierce County. It's unique to our charter. There is a state law backdrop for public works, for many purchases of goods and services, architectural and engineering, but for general services, there is no state law backdrop. And so you'll find a variety of ways that local governments do the purchases of services, and many jurisdictions do engage in the practice of direct allocations to community groups and other service providers. So again, going back to the fact that Pierce County happens to have this unique provision that started a lot of discussion between council staff, executive staff, the prosecuting attorneys looking for some alternative. And what the prosecuting attorney's office brought forward was the idea that in many ways the direct allocations were really meant to be grants, and that there is no prohibition on doing grants. What we lack is in our code a statutory framework in how to do that and for what purposes. And so that's something distinct from the purchase of goods, services, materials that are in the charter. And so that competition is not required for a grant program. So that's why you have before you today is this ordinance that creates the statutory framework for doing what we call community needs projects. It has eligibility criteria. It has, funding parameters, and then it has allowable uses. And so we believe it is absolutely,
a legal form to do those allocations. We also believe that, I think its application will meet, it may not be competitive, but it certainly will be transparent. It's going to be something that you do in your budget process. Executive memo uses the term, the best disinfectant is sunshine. And that's what you're going to have here. The budget's going to come to you. You're going to have to make those allocations by your amendments. It's going to be an open meeting, open documents. People can come and speak to those. It will not be done in the dead of night in some sort of, in secret. It will be absolutely as transparent as your budget. And so we feel comfortable that we can give you that authority to make those grants that you see fit. The one piece that is different from the proposals that were put forward 2 years ago is there is a capital component here, because some of those projects that were done through direct allocations, in particular like ARPA funding and such, were for large housing projects, community projects, and we did that carve out because that is an allocation that's not subject to the limitations of the $75,000 per fiscal year or $150,000 per biennium. You can go higher, but there is the criteria that there has to have been other funding for this project, that the funding can be spent within this biennium, and that in general, the county has the last dollar in, so that we have some certainty that the money's being put forward is to the use of completing that project. So again, it won't be any project that you can do. There'll have to be some vetting that they can meet that criteria, but that is just a new element to the proposal to deal with contributions that are kind of higher than that $150,000. So with that, I'm happy to take questions.
Thank you for the overview and the work in this. We'll see if people have questions on the underlying bill, and then we have several amendments. I'm not seeing any, so we will go to Councilmember Morrell for a motion.
Madam Chair, at this point, I remove amendment number 1.
Okay, and it hasn't been introduced, so it can just go away, right? Pulling it.
Pulling it.
There we go. Okay. So we have council amendment number 1A that I propose. Is there someone who's willing to move council amendment 1A?
Madam Chair, I move council amendment number 1A to proposal 02025-507.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt council amendment number 1A. Mr. Boki, are you going to do a brief description of these? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chair Hitchen. Amendment number 1A goes into the new chapter 2.113, page 1, line 32. There's subsection B, and it removes that subsection B in its entirety and replaces it with what you see in the shaded portion there in the amendment. When fully funded, each council member may propose up to $375,000 each, or the total amount available divided evenly by the 7 council members for expenditures for the community needs grant.
Thank you. Are there questions on council amendment 1A? Councilmember Morrell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To the author of Amendment A, I just want to make sure I'm interpreting the language in B here correctly, because it does say when fully funded, each council member may propose up to $375 each, or a total amount available divided evenly by the 7 council members for expenditures for the community needs grant program. So that second sentence there basically then talks about or the total amount. So if it isn't fully funded, it will still be divided equally 7 ways.
That is the intent, and that's what our reading of it.
Okay, is everyone okay, just wanted to make sure everyone understood that. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Councilmember Ayala.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to bring some attention, just so we don't get into any trouble later. There are two each on this, and so if it would be possible to strike the second each, as in we are not submitting $375,000 per project.
Okay, so after $375,000, remove the second each. Ms. Call, I'm going to look to you. Is that or Mr. Cox? Is that a amendment or a Scribner's error? How do we handle this? Look to both sides of the house here.
I think you can do it as a Scribner's error. I think you can do it as a Scribner's error. It's correcting the language sufficiently, but
If the maker of the motion agrees to the correction,
okay,
I would ask.
Any objection to taking out the second each? Councilmember Krueger. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think it gives clarity. I understand the thought that it is duplicative, but I think it still gives clarity, because you can propose up to $375,000 and not necessarily do it to each. It could be lopsided, for a better word. I don't know that on a scale of 1 to 10, it's maybe a 0, but I think it gives clarity and it's not necessary to change. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. I'm thinking about Robert's rules, trying to figure out how to do this now. So I know a science teacher who very much depended on things.
I would say without consensus, I would take a vote on the amendment on the word each.
Okay. So when fully funded, each council member may propose up to $375,000 each, or the total. Okay. We can, because that's what we're talking about doing. So, okay. Okay, so to look at this and do a vote, what I'm hearing, and I'm just saying this out loud so that we understand, currently what is proposed, we are looking at amending it by removing the word each after $375,000. So it would read, when fully funded, each council member may propose up to $375,000 or the total amount available, and then the rest carries on. So that is the motion. Actually, it wasn't really a motion, was it? Do I need a motion on that?
I think it's an amendment.
Your
So
amendment?
You need a second.
So I need a second. Okay, so it's now been moved and seconded that we remove the second each. Any further discussion? Grammar by voting. I've never done this before. So all those in favor of the amendment, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. So now we have the amendment as amended. Thinking about dinosaurs, everyone. So when fully funded, each council member may propose up to $375,000 or the total amount available. Is there any other discussion on this amendment? Seeing none, I will call for the vote on, and we'll just do a voice vote. So all those in favor of adopting Council Amendment 1A as amended, say aye. 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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. We'll be practicing this more often so that I get better at this. Okay. That brings us to Council Amendment number 4. And for those playing at home, the reason we skipped 2 and 3 is there's been some changes. So we now have Council Amendment number 4 before us, which we will go to Councilmember Morrell for a motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Council Amendment number 4 to O 2025-507.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt Council Amendment number 4, and Mr. Boki to brief.
Thank you, Chair Hitchin, Paul Boki, Council staff. This is also amending the code portion, page 3, line 7, paragraph H, it adds the language that you see there on the amendment, applicability of other law, and it adds funding distributions made pursuant to this chapter are not contracts for professional services, as that term is used in section 9.15, paragraph 2 of the Pierce County Charter.
Thank you. Are there questions or comments? We'll go to Councilmember Morrell first.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think this gets to the crux of the issue that Ms. Murray brought up earlier. This is just legal language for defining how this is different than the 2023 version that came before us, and I requested that our deputy prosecutor write a paragraph, and I would support the amendment on this paragraph. So I hopefully get your support on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there questions or comments? Vice Chair Herrera.
So this is just clarifying language. I would put that, right?
Councilmember Morrell.
Yeah, and I'll just read from the letter if you don't mind, Madam Chair. It basically goes into the pyramid code or primary written for services that benefit county government, such as engineering consultants. They are not written for services that benefit the general public. Consequently, services for general public have to fit the procurement model of Pierce County Code 2.106.050 because that has been our only option. There again goes into discussion on why the 2023 fund was not agreed to and why this separates the models out using this language here. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Any other questions on this amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting Council Amendment number 4 say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That brings us to Council Amendment number 5. Councilmember Ayala.
Thank you, Chair. I move Council Amendment number 5 to proposal number O-2025-507.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt Council Amendment number 5. Mr. Boki to brief.
Thank you, Chair Hitchen. This amendment goes to, in the code portion, to paragraph F, use of fund. It changes the use to use of funds, and then strikes most of the language in the subparagraphs A through H, or A through H, and just basically takes the first portion of each of those paragraphs. So you can see there that the sections then for allowable uses becomes housing affordability and supply, homelessness and stable housing, public safety, behavioral health systems, youth and young adults, economy and workforce, infrastructure needs, sustainability and livability. It then adds a section, aging and disability services, and then makes the previous I into J, which is other council priorities, which may be made by resolution. So that's just moved from I to J, and that's already in there. So you're adding, basically simplifying the language and then adding aging and disability services as to allowable uses.
Thank you for that, and thank you to the council members that worked to get this to where it is. We had a diverse conversation here. Is there any feedback, or not feedback at this point, but comments or questions? Councilmember Yambe?
I too want to thank my colleagues for the great discussions going back and forth, and the hard work that Vice Chair Herrera and Councilmember Ayala put into this, and just the thoughtfulness that they're approaching, trying to, minimize red tape, but at the same time try to give clarity to policies. And I just thought it was a good compromise, and I appreciate the work and patience of all the members as we work through it. So thanks.
Thank you for those comments. We'll go to Councilmember Ayala next.
Thank you, Chair. I also want to express some gratitude for some collaborative work that happened across several spaces. However, I do have an amendment to an amendment. I know.
Budget's going to be fun with Councilmember Ayala.
Welcome. In reviewing particularly subsection H, wanted to offer more clarity around the word livability and replace that with quality of life improvements.
Okay. So on the second page, under sustainability and livability, you are suggesting
sustainability and quality of life improvements.
Quality of life improvements. Okay. I'm writing it down though, because I have to say it again. Quality of life improvements. Okay. So the motion before us that has been moved and seconded is that we change subsection H from sustainability and livability to sustainability and quality of life improvements. Is there discussion on this? And Councilmember Morrell, you had your light on, but I don't know if it's about this amendment to the amendment.
Yes, I will speak in favor of livability. I think livability needs a chance to live on in this ordinance and not be replaced by quality of life. So that's my support for livability. Thank you.
Any other, I don't even know how to take that. So other comments on that one? Councilmember Ayala, did you want to speak to your amendment to the amendment?
I do. So, and thank you for those comments, Councilmember Morrell. In thinking through the items that are itemized here, we are missing a call out to our birth to school age space. And because we have youth and young adults and we have aging and disability services, that period of life is missing. And sometimes that involves parents, an investment in parents. Sometimes that involves investment in childcare or other things that do improve quality of life.
Okay. So it has been moved and seconded that we modify the language in subsection H to sustainability and quality of life improvements or improvement. Is it improvements? Okay. I'm trying to help out Ms. Call. Any further discussion? All those in favor of adopting that amendment say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries by my ear. 6-1. Okay, so that was an amendment to the amendment. We still have to now adopt this amendment. Don't everybody put your paper away yet. So, Councilmember Morrell.
Not to belabor this, but I just want to thank my colleagues also for collaborating and working together in a very short time frame. It became obvious at study session that there was still more work to be done. So I appreciate everyone who huddled together and got this out in a timely fashion. Thank you, and I will support it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any further comments on this amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting Council Amendment number 5 as amended, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We now have the resolution before us as amended. Is there any further comments or, well, comments we'll save till after the public hearing, but questions? Seeing none, I'm going to open this up for a public hearing at this time and invite members of the public to provide comment on this amended resolution or ordinance. If you would like to come to the podium, I don't actually have a sign-in sheet, but are either of you here to speak to this? You come to the podium, state your name for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes.
My name is Carol Wright. I'm representing Graham Kapowsin Community Council. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the council. We are interested in the reestablishment of the Community Needs Fund. We were engaged in the advocacy of it and brought a whole van full of people to state that, and then came back again when we were trying to override the veto. Evan asked for a personal story, so I'll keep it short. My husband and I joined the new Graham Kapowsin Senior Center when it opened around June of 2022. Now, this is from Eris and Alice Cunningham. I cannot tell you what it means to have a place close where we can go to exercise, eat, and enjoy the company of others in our area. We have watched it grow with more and more people attending all the time. And now the center has added Wednesdays at the Benson Hall in Kapowsin to give even more seniors an opportunity to gather. We feel that this is adding a real benefit to our community, one that we have never had a chance to enjoy before. We would appeal to Pierce County or any other agency that could help us with funding, as it is so badly needed, and remind you that seniors have contributed to the county serving in the military, working and paying taxes for many years. Thank you for your consideration. So we would like to just state that this type of flexible funding is a crucial tool that needs to be brought back, especially for Graham Kapowsin Community Council, because we are underserved and unincorporated part of Pierce County. Without transportation and housing, now I mean rent, the person that we rented from doubled our rent, asked to double our rent a few weeks ago. So we were quite taken by that. And then we are also without other services that communities who have services already receive. So we are scrambling to make ourselves sustainable. Thank you for giving us a voice. Carol.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else in chambers that would like to speak on this resolution? I keep doing that, this ordinance. Seeing none, we will go online. Mr. Weinsberry.
Yes, Madam Chair. For any members of the public who wish to provide comment on proposal number O2025-507, press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. And Madam Chair, it looks like we have 3 hands at this time. First name is Eric. Please state your name for the record. You will have 3 minutes.
Hello. Thank you, Chair Hitchin. My name is Eric Flagan. I'm the Executive Director of the Mustard Seed Project of Key Peninsula. We're a community-based nonprofit that serves Key Peninsula elders. And I strongly support the ordinance to reestablish the Community Needs Fund. And that's because back in the summer of 2022 at the Mustard Seed Project, we had met our fundraising goal and secured a USDA loan for $7.8 million to build Mustard Seed Village, the Key Peninsula's first assisted living and memory care homes. However, at that point, the contractor needed to refresh their bid, which hadn't been updated since just the beginning of the pandemic, and the price rose by $1.6 million. We were able to raise $600,000 of that from donors and foundations, but it was thanks to the County Council and the Community Needs Fund that Pierce County was able to directly appropriate the other $1 million that we needed to start construction. And so it was the last dollars, those were the last dollars that came into the project and enabled us to get started. Without that funding, we would not have been able to move forward. The process to acquire the funds, which were strictly allocated to construction and architectural costs, was straightforward. Wolfgang Opitz and his team were excellent to work with. And had that Community Needs Fund process not existed, we may not have had the staff bandwidth to pursue other funding. And even if we had, a more complex process would have delayed the project further, and then the costs would have risen yet again. So this fund was vital to leading to what we have today on the Key Peninsula, which is a full village with 32 elders, 11 of whom are Medicaid qualified lower income folks, and we have assisted living and memory care available on the Key Peninsula, which did not exist prior. So those folks who needed it had to go outside of the community to find it. So we're very grateful for the Community Needs Fund and strongly support passing of this ordinance. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments.
Next, Madam Chair, we have last name Anderson. Please state your name for the record. You'll have 3 minutes.
We'll eventually figure this out, Emily.
Star 6 to unmute if you're on your phone.
Okay. I sent her an email after Health and Human Services this morning, and we were struggling to get her to unmute before. So we'll go on to Philip, and Emily, if you figure it out, we'll come back to you. We'll give you one more shot.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Very good. So my name is Philip Cowan, and I'm executive to the Grand Cinema for the last 18 years. And I'm here to speak very briefly on behalf of Ordinance 507 to reestablish the Community Needs Fund. To me, the basics are this. The inclination of governments is to add bureaucracy, and you have the unique opportunity to do the opposite here. You all keep in touch with the nonprofits within your districts and learn their needs. With quick action, you are in the position of being able to help people and projects in need. Current process is an unnecessarily bureaucratic method to get to the same result through a bidding process. The current process takes time extra time on both ends, both for the staff of the nonprofit organizations that need to complete longer applications, as well as for council staff who now need to set precious time aside to review them. So I just urge you to support the efficiency in a way that helps your constituents by supporting Ordinance 507 for the Community Needs Fund. And I want to thank you all for your work and your time.
Thank you very much for the comments.
And next, Madam Chair, we have Jananan, last name Smith. Please say your name for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Jean Ann Smith, although I am more often called Bunny, and I'm the director at the Mid-County Community Center. I also wanted to say that I very much want to say that I support the Community Needs Program. We receive funding from the county for several different methods. We do competitive bid processes, which as a small nonprofit oftentimes can be very time intensive, can be very costly for smaller organizations. We also have had wonderful relationships with our council members over the years, and when we have an immediate need, whether it was a few years ago, our heat pump blew up and our council member was able to get us funding through MCE to get that replaced. And that was critically important to us, being able to help the hundreds of seniors that we help every single week. So again, I appreciate the processes that we have to work through, as well as the support that we have always gotten from the council. And really, this is just another tool to help, I think, for our council and our county to be able to help ensure that we do have the services that we need within the county. So I just wanted to say I do support the Community Needs Program, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you for your comments.
And then, Madam Chair, did we want to go back to...
Let's see if Emily's figured it out.
I'm going to try and promote her to a panelist and see if she'll be able to do it like that.
Okay. Emily, can you unmute now? So you accepted as a panelist.
I can unmute from this side. Do you want me to see if...
Yeah, let's try that and see what happens. Emily, can you speak to us? Okay. I think we've tried every way that we know how to do anything. So we'll go ahead and move on. And if you have other comments, you can always email them in. And maybe if you send me your phone number, we can have one of our staff call you and see if we can troubleshoot through our system, because we always want people to have access to public comments. So
and there are no other hands, Madam Chair.
I'm not seeing any other hands raised, so we will close the public comment on this and bring it back before the full council. Councilmember Morrell with comments or questions.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do have a few questions before comment, but I do want to make sure that I fully understand the concept here of the Community Needs Grants Program. It is my understanding that this is to replace the miscellaneous current expense line item budget that we currently use. Every council district uses that. Is that your understanding, Mr. Boki?
Yeah, the Community Needs Fund program, if you pass this today, that $5 million will be in the budget. When it comes up in the fall, that's $5 million biennial budget. And 375 of that presumably will be the executive will propose recipients for that. If the members want to go beyond that, as you have done in the past, where you just do more miscellaneous current expense, you then are in a position where you are going to have to reduce other items in the general fund or find other revenue sources. So you would have to, then that would take 5 votes of the council. So this doesn't in any way, shape, or form prevent you from adding any more miscellaneous current expense money. Although I would note that the $5 million is fairly close to the number that you've added in the last biennium, save some large capital projects that went in last time.
Yeah, and you've been through quite a few of these budget cycles, so a lot more than I have, but having the fiscal restraints of maintaining up to 375, I do believe is a better process than what we've had before, where it's just kind of a mix of requests that happens. Some districts have more 501c3s in their area, so they're able to allocate more. There again, just understanding that what's different with this program versus the 2023 program is written a new code that it falls underneath. It's no longer under the 106050 that kind of within charter dictates how we have to go out competitively for professional services. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, the exemption now is up to $150,000 over a 2-year period for those, rather than the last time you were doing things at $24,999 of all things. And then there were other breakpoints along there, and I think at $75,000 it was a full-blown RFP process, which, again, as it was alluded to by the speakers, really creates a lot of work for a lot of folks, and there's a lot of additional things, and you're just really taking money out of the system, really, right? I mean, time is money, and you're doing that. So this would, in this program, for this amount of money, you will be able to do that. You will be able to not have to do that process. You no longer have that $24,999 break point, and I think the other one was $75,000 break point. After that, after your 375 allocation, if you want to do that, then you are subject to those items, right? So you're outside that. If you go beyond what's in this, what you've got in front of you today, the 375 per member, the $5 million total, including the $2 million for capital, then you go, well, the capital's still going to be subject to it, right? Because presumably it'll be more than $150,000. But if for the other items, you will then, anything beyond that 375, you're going to be subject to those procurement rules.
Okay, so it does have guardrails in it that we could only do the 375, and that's per biennial, right? I mean, that's a 2-year budget.
Correct.
Okay. And I notice in item number G, and Julie DeMuth highlighted this in the agreements, and I'll read it. The funding must be distributed pursuant to a written grant agreement negotiated between the Finance Department or designee and the recipient that articulates the public benefit that will be provided in exchange for the funding. The agreement must contain standard terms and conditions applicable to the county's agreement or contracts for similar services or purchases. Funding must generally be distributed on a reimbursable basis. So in other words, we're not just, in this case, up to $150,000 to someone and just say, write me a check for $150,000. So it has to be with receipts in hand saying, this is what I spent the money on. And then the county will reimburse up to whatever the amount is. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so with that clarification, just understanding the difference, because obviously last time I was on the no side because of the charter and the section that everything fell into. I think, as I read earlier, and Deputy Prosecutor Katie Blinn pointed out, that this is different. It is a grant program. It's not a funding program as it was before. It is an actual grant program. And it's really going to be up to the chair moving forward to keep us fiscally responsible, because as someone who's been through 6 budget cycles, we have a tendency to be all over the board when it comes to, and I'm not talking to you, Councilmember Denson, is outside of our MCE money, we have a tendency to ask for other special little projects out there. And I think, this new budget environment that we're now going to move into, this budget and the next budget, will be a lot more restraint than what we've had in the past. Coming out of the American Rescue Act funding, where we were given a huge tranche of money to be able to support our community. We're not going to have that anymore. So there again, we have to practice fiscal responsibility of taxpayers' dollars and show restraint, and I'm guilty as anybody for making a request for my pet project, and we just have to have an understanding that we're all in this canoe paddling forward in this new environment and new economy. So I will support this grant program at this time, because I think it is a better program to put in fiscal guardrails than what is previously how it's been handled in the past. So I will be supporting that, and there again, I will turn to the chair and say, you're the one who's got to set the standard here, and we have to understand that. So, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for the comments, and I actually have a question based on what you said, so I just want to make sure. This is not replacing MCE full stop, correct? Because there's a whole bunch of other stuff like transfers out to other agencies, the Rainier Communications, like there's stuff in there. It doesn't just go away.
Correct. I imagine, yes, MCE is, in Pierce County, contains a lot of items, transfers, there's a number of other administrative type things like severance reserve. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's used for a lot of other items. I think there's some other items that the council has discussed that will also be outside of this particular. This really has to do with the members and the members directed spending. Things like senior centers, for instance, are a different you could do that with your member-directed spending, but there's also a senior center line item in miscellaneous current expense. There's also money for admin costs. Puget Sound Clean Air Agency, for instance, was here earlier. That's paid out of miscellaneous current expense. That'll be in there. All the other agencies that we pay for and those kind of things, those will still all be in miscellaneous current.
I just wanted to make sure that we weren't thinking that this item went away full stop, because I think nobody would, some of us wouldn't want to sponsor, maybe. So, okay, Councilmember or Vice Chair Herrera.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to thank Councilmember Morrell for kind of summarizing the differences from this proposal than what we were looking at before, and showing how it has some guardrails and things like that on it. And I totally agree with everything he said, and I will be supporting this as we move forward.
Thank you. Other comments by my colleagues? Councilmember Krueger.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I too express grateful appreciation for what has happened through this, because I was not prepared to support this in that I didn't see the sideboards that were put on it, and with knowing that these are the numbers, I feel better when I look at the legislature is being set to perhaps pass the biggest tax increase in history. I'm really concerned with where the dollars are going to be coming from and the stress and strains on our constituents. And so the way that this has been framed, I'm feeling much more comfortable to be able to support that, knowing that we'll be responsible. So thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any further comments? Well, I will conclude before we vote with just gratitude for coming back to this and seeing how we could improve it and get it to a place where we could, sounds like, agree on. And one of the things that I really appreciate about this is the guardrails, is the process. When I got here, we ran through our first budget, I was like, I made an application for people and said, fill this out, and then I was going to vet projects because there was no process, and it drove me nuts. And so I may now actually have like a process that I can adopt and use to really think about how I want to do community needs. I will also add, we have to put the money in this line item, so that's, we are basically creating the program. We then have to figure out how to fund, in hopes that we will have funding available to deliberate on and choose how we can best support our community. The needs are great, and things are going to be challenging. It's going to be a rough budget season, but I think having at least the structure in place will allow for countywide equity as far as reaching out to programs that we really want to fund that are impactful to our residents, with whatever bucket of money we end up with. And I'm hopeful that we will be able to find some to do that, because you all have funded some really phenomenal programs in your districts. But we've had to kind of fight over that, and I think this makes it a little bit better. So looking forward to the process, though I know it's going to be a challenge. I'm looking forward to it. So any further comments before we vote? Then I am going to ask that we call the vote on Proposal O 2025-507 as amended.
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Herrera?
Aye.
Councilmember Morrell?
Aye.
Councilmember Krueger?
Aye. I did it again.
Councilmember Denson?
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin?
Aye.
You have 7
It's
ayes,
out of
0
order.
nays.
I was.
I
was
yeah,
I did. I spoke for Amy again.
you did.
We're just gonna make it
Just
easier.
call, do we need to call it again, or are you good?
Yes, I think we should call it again if there's uncertainty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. I'm not used to being last.
Just excited.
I'm the one that
One
can't
way to do
hear.
it.
Okay. Councilmember Krueger?
Aye.
Councilmember Morrell?
Am I voting again? Aye.
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Denson?
Aye.
Councilmember Herrera?
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin?
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
7 ayes and 0 nays. Motion is adopted. Thank you, everybody. I go last. I will just have to remember that. Okay. That brings us to Proposal O 2025-509. Councilmember Krueger for a motion.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to move for adoption O 2025-509.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt Ordinance 2025-509. Can the clerk please read?
Proposal number O 2025-509, an ordinance of the Pierce County Council amending ordinance numbers 2022-14S and O 2024-514 and adopting new voting precinct boundary maps pursuant to Chapter 29A.16 of the Revised Code of Washington.
Thank you. Mr. Cox, to brief.
Yes, Chair Hitchen, members of the council. You have in front of you, the ordinance really was just described by the clerk. It's authorizing the auditor to make minor adjustments in precinct boundaries and to follow jurisdictional boundaries or adjust large precinct sizes. You had a hearing at Rules and Operations Committee on April 7th and received a do pass recommendation, and you received testimony at that time from the department. I don't see anyone here to speak to it, but I think it's...
He's online.
Oh, they're online. But I think it's, if you have any further questions, I'm sure they can elaborate.
Thank you. Kyle, do you have anything to add from the auditor's office?
From our perspective, unless you all have questions.
Okay. We'll look to see if there are any questions on this. Vice Chair Herrera.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think I asked some of these questions in committee, I think it was, on the process. Why is this before us today? Why are we changing precincts or adding or taking away? What are we doing here today?
So once a precinct gets to 1,500 registered voters or close to it, we need to get below that number and stay below that number per the law. And you all as the county council get to make the decision on how to split these precincts. We've, with our GIS person, went through and made what we thought is the most logical divisions of these precincts and are bringing those to you today.
And a follow-up question is the process of which way the line goes, north, south, east, or west. How do you determine that?
Yeah, we want to follow census lines and we want to follow logical roads. So basically, again, we look at it to see what kind of makes the most logical sense, and we want to keep the precinct divided as evenly as possible. So we're not coming back to you next year saying, well, we added a new housing development and now it's gone over 1,500 again. So we try to divide it as equally and as logically as we can.
And one last question. So this can happen next year too. We can see this. It just depends on the population, or do you do like an audit every year or every 5 years, or how's that look?
After every general election, we do an audit to see kind of what's close, and usually you will see these every year because Pierce County continues to grow, so it's a good thing. Years you won't see this is kind of the year after we redistrict the entire county because we try to get everything to be like in the 1,000 to 1,100 range to prevent doing this twice. So,
thank you for explaining that mostly for our public. So thank you, Chair.
Thank you for the questions. Any further questions? Well, seeing none, we will open this up for a public hearing. If there's any member of the public that would like to address the council on proposal O 2025-509, don't think there's anyone in chambers, so we will go online.
Yes, Madam Chair. For any members of the public who wish to provide comments on proposal number O 2025-509, press the raise hand icon on Zoom or star 9 on your telephone keypad. Madam Chair, I see no hands.
With no hands raised, we'll close public comment and bring it back before the council. Any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before us is to adopt O 2025-509. If the clerk could please call the roll.
Councilmember Herrera?
Aye.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Krueger?
Aye.
Councilmember Denson?
Aye.
Councilmember Morrell?
Aye.
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchen?
Aye.
You have 7 ayes, 0 nays.
Got it right that time, everybody. 7 ayes and 0 nays. The motion is adopted. That brings us to section 10, which is community forum. Community forum is the opportunity for members of the public to address the council on any topic that is of significance to or affecting Pierce County government that did not appear on the council agenda for final action. There is a 3-minute limit, and we'd like to ask you to state your name if you would like it on the record. We will start here in chambers. There's no member of the public that would like to address us in chambers, so we will go online.
Yes, Madam Chair. For any members of the public who wish to provide comment, press the raise hand icon on Zoom or star 9 on your telephone keypad. Madam Chair, I just see one hand at this time. First name Dewey. Please state your name for the record. You will have 3 minutes.
You guys there?
We are.
Hi, I'm just checking to see where things are currently standing with the DIY septic inspection program. Jenny had mentioned there would be a meeting to figure out how this is going to get this moving forward, since it's a priority for the people of Pierce County. But I haven't heard any updates. Amy suggested reaching out to the counties that already have successful programs and asked them to provide letters outlining their success and how their programs work. I brought this idea to Robin to see if she could help make it more official, but she let me know she wouldn't be pursuing it. She said that she would leave it up to the health department, but all the health department has been doing is giving us misinformation, misleading people, flat out lies, which is manipulating people to think they're going to have a DIY septic program in Pierce County. When people do that, they cannot be trusted in anything they say or do. I'm still unsure why there's been so little progress, especially considering Washington State Department of Health released a training video 11 years ago that walks people through the process. Other counties are using this video to train their people how to inspect their septic tank and been doing it for over 15 years. Now, Amy watched the video and said it was straightforward and not hard to do. I encourage everyone involved to watch it themselves to give their honest opinion. It's really not that difficult, or is it something we can actually do? Jeremy Simmons from the State Department, Health Department confirmed the video is still accurate and fully supports DIY inspection programs. He also told me that the counties currently running these programs are not experiencing any issues, and if they were, it would be on the news to let people know that there's been problems, but nothing. It seems like all they really need to do is for someone to pick up the phone, call Jeremy, and ask the steps on how to get this program implemented here. If it's that simple, why is it taking this long? A possible 2026 is unacceptable. We should have this up and running today because it's not that hard to do unless they're making it hard. I truly don't understand why Pierce County isn't doing more to move this forward, especially when it can help so many people in our community: seniors, veterans, retirees on fixed income, individuals with disabilities, and low-income households. These are people who can least afford these extra burdens, and yet the ones who are being left behind. If there's no real intentions to help, I raise the question: what's the purpose does the county council serve if not addressing issues that directly affect the well-being of its residents? Comment on that.
Thank you for your comments, Dewey.
All right, next, Madam Chair, we have Andra Lynn. Please state your name for the record. You'll have 3 minutes.
Hello, my name is Angelina Izquierdo. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. A couple of weeks ago, I brought up the concern of not really having an evidence room available locally within the city of Puyallup at the Pierce County Sheriff's Department station. When I went to go look for my stolen belongings there beforehand, I was referred to a place in Tacoma, which was a drive away, close to a prison, instead as an option. And while I saw that there's been a new addition to their website, a new form that connects to the Tacoma evidence room that they had referred me to. So thank you. I see that there's progress along the lines as to fulfilling my request. So I appreciate that on both parts. However, I do request that we do have an option within the building itself, the closest station at the Pierce County Sheriff Department. So that way it makes it easier through the filing of the police report process to retrieving the stolen belongings and then just bringing it back home quickly, rather than to try and go on a search and find and figure out maybe it might be at a place in another city somewhere. So I'm hoping that there's still an option, or there's some plan in the future coming up in the nearby future in which there will be one inside of the station itself instead of an extra location. So thank you for letting me speak today, and I hope to see further progress.
And Madam Chair, we have no other hands.
Seeing no other hands, we will close community forum and bring it back before the council. Is there any other business or announcements this week? Well, I just want to thank everybody for my in-district meeting last week. It seems like it was forever ago, but it literally was just last week. It went really well. I'm looking forward to our two almost back-to-back in-districts at the end of this month, and to the others that are starting to get scheduled. It looks like we're going to get most of ours done relatively quickly. So thank you for avoiding budget season, everybody. I appreciate it. Seeing no other business before the council this afternoon, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.